Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and this is an experimental version of what I currently call Job Search Radio, and I'm switching over to a video format. I'm experimenting with a different platform called Be Live that integrates with Facebook Live, because I have an interest in doing a talk show format where I take guests on the show and answer questions. So I'm checking out different platforms, and while I'm doing that, I'm taking Q&A from people who've written to me with requests for my answers to questions. So if you have a question for me, email me at jobsearchradio@gmail.com. If I don't get to it right away, hey, I'm sorry. I'm trying. I've got a lot to do, and I coach. So if you're interested in my coaching you, you can email me at Jeff Altman. Actually, as a matter of fact, just stick with jobsearchradio@gmail.com. And I'll also say that if you'd like to connect with me on Facebook, it's facebook.com, no BS coaching advice. Give the show a thumbs up. Job Search Radio also has a page, a thumbs up there. And on LinkedIn, connect with me at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. So I've got a few questions that I've received from people. Excuse me. And the first one is, do recruiters read cover letters? I don't know that recruiters read anything anymore, because we're just inundated. And when I think of the word read, I think of carefully going through a document to see every thought and concern that the person has, everything that they're trying to communicate. And that's not the way I did it, and it's not the way I know other recruiters do it. Generally, everyone skims just because we have so much there, and most people don't really tell us what we need to know anyway. Excuse me. So the result is no one reads. People wind up, excuse me, I'm just going to take a quick drink of water and see if that takes care of the tickle. Recruiters don't read cover letters, they skim them. And we're skimming for keywords that relate to the job that you think you're qualified for. So the result winds up being you don't really get anything by writing a detailed cover letter. I think the best thing that people can do is really very simple. What you do is, number one, I'm going to see if I can do this right. The left-hand column, you put down the requirements of the role and the functionality that's being sought. And then in the other column, in the right-hand column, what you do is indicate how long and how recently you've performed that function or used that particular skill. That's really the ideal way to communicate. So it's not really about the cover letter and actually the next thing was, what's the typical word count for a good cover letter? So I'm going to combine my answers here. So we read them up to a point, but looking for specific things. And since you're applying for a position when you're using a cover letter, what we want to know, what a recruiter wants to know, is how your background matches up with the role. And thus, again, in the left-hand column, you put down the requirements of the position and the functionality that would be performed. And in the other column, what you do is you indicate how long and how recently you performed it. That's it. That really communicates everything a recruiter needs to know, and you will save yourself a lot of time rather than the ridiculous, I'm forwarding my resume to you because I saw a position for a such and such. I believe my background would fit your requirements perfectly. Then you open up the resume and you have a Purdue chicken plucker applying for this software engineering job. That's the experience that I had when I did recruiting. I no longer do search. I coach people, and it's ridiculous what I used to experience. So that's my answer to the first two questions. Do recruiters read cover letters? Up to a point. And the second thing, a good word count. The word count is irrelevant. What's relevant is how you demonstrate your fit for the role. Here's the next question. How do you efficiently reach out to individuals in charge of reviewing online job applications, especially in situations where the recruiter or HR personnel never replies to phone calls or emails? Ooh, terrible people. Why do you think they're not replying? Seriously, why do you think they're not replying? Usually it's because their systems have filtered out your resume and it hasn't demonstrated a fit. Why would they take your call? And you've made the other classic mistake of applying to a job through an applicant tracking system. I can't tell you how many times I say this. I'll just repeat it again. Never, ever apply for a job through an applicant tracking system if you can avoid it. And this is clearly avoidable. You're making a conscious choice to submit an application to a firm, and thus you're one of many fish in the ocean that is applying for a job, and their systems are designed to filter out your resume. They're not there to talk to everyone. They're there to talk to the best of the ones that appear qualified. And the systems do a basic job of screening that out, and then they're filtering it further by looking at resumes again. So you're dead in the water. You should have gone to the hiring manager directly. Don't know who it is? You can find them. Seriously. You've taken the lazy way of applying for this position. You should have gone to the hiring manager, found someone internally who could direct you, and not to HR, but to the hiring manager for this role. Who's the person who's in charge of such and such? That's the simplest question you could ask the reception. Can't get there? Go to the CIO's office, go to the CMO office, go to the head of the function that you're trying to get a position for. Someone will tell you. Next question. How does a recruitment consultant focus on helping candidates find jobs? Okay. Most are focused on assisting companies finding the right candidate. As a recruitment consultant, how can I assist the job seeker find his/her dream job? God. You're confused about the role of a recruiter. By definition, a recruiter recruits people on behalf of a company. They do not place people in jobs. And as a result, you're not paying them anything. Why should they work for you? I'm going to stick with that line again. You're not paying them anything. Why should they work for you when a client is going to pay them $20, $30, $50, $100,000 a year? Seriously, would you do that? I doubt it. Why do you think they would do it? Do you think they're stupid? You're not stupid. They're not stupid either. Don't be insulting and come up with an amateurish question. Here's the last one for today. Is it legal to recruit on the basis of gender for technical jobs? Okay. Now, in the U.S., and that's the only place I can really answer to, in the U.S., it's not legal to discriminate. However, firms can widen the scope of their search in order to ensure that they are identifying individuals from different diverse populations. And thus, it's not that they're going to favor them, but they're going to take the time to ensure that they explore their candidacy much more fully. And that may take some additional time. So it's not that they can discriminate on the basis of gender to favor women or transgender individuals or people from other definitions of gender. But they may prefer to ensure that they have a diverse population. That's okay. And on the other hand, they may be under a consent decree with the government that requires that they do certain things and thus favor particular people from, I'll call them target groups, groups that are subject to discrimination, groups that the U.S. government has determined have been discriminated against in the past on the basis of gender. So it's not that they can discriminate. It's just that they're allowed to favor people. So I hope you found this helpful. And again, I'm experimenting with the platform. I'm going to review the video later for quality. It's going to wind up on YouTube as well. And again, if you're interested in my coaching you, reach out at jobsearchradio@gmail.com. Mention that you watched the AMA, and I look forward to helping you. Hope you have a great day. Take care.